Perfectionism is a tricky thing. It's slick, it's crafty, right? It slips in when you least expect it, and sometimes you may be operating around it and don't even realize it. I judged this project way too quickly. The moment I completed it, I started listening to all the voices in my head that said, "Ooh, Terry, you didn't do this right. This is wrong. What about that curve that doesn't look that great? What about where the fabric stretched a little bit? Hey, 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 I hope that all is well with you and that your new year is off to a fantabulous start." Simplicity 9828. I love this pattern right away. It was cute. The couple on it, they look so youthful. It looks comfortable, right? I was like, I really like this pattern. I like the color blocking. I like the solid. I'm looking down at the pattern. It looked kind of cool, right? But I knew that I wanted an elevated version of this, right? And so I decided to go with the two fabrics that, of course, that I used that were from my mom's stash. So these two fabrics came from Virginia's stash. The top is like a tweed. It's like a tweedy kind of feel to it. I'm almost sure that it has wool blend in it because it's very warm, and I'll talk about that later. But the colors I liked, the purple, the pinks, the violets. I really love this. And for some reason, I thought that maybe my mom had paired these together because the pants are made out of a suiting fabric. Now, this fabric reminds me of boucle, but it's a much tighter weave, but it's nubby. It's kind of nubby, right? I think they're both suiting fabrics, as a matter of fact. Now, the pattern suggestions for fabric are fleece, micro fleece, and ponte. Ooh, can you imagine making this out of ponte? For contrast A, you have cotton blends, ripstop nylon, twill, cotton blends. Okay, so it gives you suggestions if you want it to contrast with a different type of fabric. Okay, now this pattern refers to the top as a sweatshirt. So it's a unisex sweatshirt and pants. And it goes from extra small, which is a 30 to 32, to an XXL, which is a 50 to 52. Yeah, and I'll show you the line drawings too. It's cute. It's very cute. I was really excited about this project when I started. I knew that it was going to be a challenge because some of the things I hadn't done in a long time. It had been a while since I had done an exposed zipper. I knew that there were some details there that was going to really, be involved. I mean, I just knew. I said, okay. I did some research to see if I could find someone who had made it already, who could, give me some clues, this is going to be this or that, but I didn't find any of that. So the issue that I had with this project, which led me to all those negative thoughts about it, was the fabric, okay? The fabric, my selection of fabric was too thick to have all of the details that it has in the pattern. So for example, if we look at the top, right? The top has what do they call this? Oh, sorry. Okay, so the top has a front flap. And inside the front flap is an exposed zipper. Well, there's a lot of curves at the bottom of the flap. Well, there's one on each side, right? But the curve on either side of the flap, right? My fabric was thick. You stitch the outer portion of the patch, and then you press under, right, that fabric, and then you sew it to the actual jacket, to the top, to the sweatshirt. Well, the part that you press under, right, is not that much. It's like a scant 1/8 of an inch or something like that. So what I found was there were two things, going against me here. I didn't have enough fabric that was like really pressed under all the way around the patch. And it was thick, right? So had I had more of an allowance to press under, then it would have probably helped. But I had already had this cut out, and at this point, it's like,
bitty. Okay.
So that was one thing. And then the fact that I struggled with that, I just kept trying to get it right and trying to get it right, which in turn stretched the fabric out somewhat, right? And once that happens, it's a done deal. Like seriously, it's a done deal. But I had used every piece of this fabric. I do have some of the pants fabric left, but I didn't have any of this fabric left, and I wanted the top to be all one color. I didn't want to color block the top at all. So there's that. And while I'm still on the top, the patch pocket. Okay, so the patch pocket has a lining that is attached. My lining fabric was a remnant. You only need a small piece, and it was too light, right? So there's a piece of Velcro that closes the pocket. Well, that doesn't work for me. So really I could remove the Velcro or not even use it. I should have used something a little heavier. I could have even used part of the fashion fabric. I could have used some of the pants fabric because it needed to be a little bit weighty. The weight of the top, right, and the weight of the lining that I used was out of balance. It didn't work. It doesn't work. Now, it is truly a functional pocket, right? And I'm not going to change anything, but I have Velcro there, but it's not doing anything, right? So the top is scratchy. Okay, so there is wool blend in here. I know it is because it's warm and it's very scratchy. So I can't wear this sweatshirt without something under it. Turtleneck, a button up, something that's going to cover my arms, right, and my neck. The collar goes high when you zip it up. It goes all the way up. And so I need something on, on my neck. And then finally, the pants pockets. So again, the fabric that I chose, even though it's different content than the top, it was still kind of thick, right? For the pants pockets, you have a pocket, right? You have a gusset that you attach to the pocket, and then you attach the gusset to the pants. This is my first time doing this method. I love it too. I love it, by the way. But I was just like, this doesn't look right to me. Like, maybe I need to do this. I just kept fiddling with it. And then, pretty soon I was like, okay, Terry, it is what it is. Just be done with it and forget it. I would use these pockets again on something. First, it reminded me of like a cargo pocket. But then when I saw that gusset, I'm like, ooh, I really like this. So it expands the pockets. So let's talk about what I love about this pattern. First of all, I love all the exposed zippers. Have always loved exposed zippers. And I feel like that is something that will never go out of style. I love the front patch pocket on the front, right? I love the front patch. Am I calling that right? Hold on a second. Where my vocab at? Let's get technical with it, okay? So I love the flap, all right? The flap and the exposed zipper on the front. I love the, what's that called? The front patch, right? That covers the pocket. It is a pocket that's underneath there, but I love the front patch. I love the fact it's like sweatsuit style. So it's a drawstring waist. I love the elastic at the ankles. I love the elastic at the wrists. There is supposed to be elastic at the bottom, right? But I omitted that. The way it works out now, it's too long for me because I'm kind of short. I am short. So I am going to put the elastic in. And let's see what else. I love the way the zipper zips all the way up into the collar. And there is so much to love about this pattern. And I almost missed it. I focused on all the things that didn't work, the things that went wrong, the things that I didn't like, the things that weren't perfect. So much so that right after I got it done, I was like, I'm going to make this over. I tucked it away in the closet and forgot all about it. Thank God that was not the end of the story. I would say that time was on my side in this case. Lately, I have been busy selling my fabric collection, right? So that's taken up the most of my time. And I started feeling like I want to sew, like I really want to make something. And I'm like, okay, Lord,
what should I sew? What should I make?
And God said, what about what you've already made? What about that jogger suit you have in your closet that you've tucked away? That's perfectly fine. but you don't think so. Pull that back out. Pull that out. Let's take a look at that. So that's what I did. I pulled it out and I said, you know what? I'm going to wear this out. I'm going to wear it to run my errands today. It is 37 degrees outside, so it's chilly. It should come quite in handy. What happened was, when I put this on like this time, I said, say what now? Okay, we can rock with this. Okay, we can definitely rock with this. And I am so grateful that I followed that advice, that I was obedient. You know what I mean? Because I'm like, this is cute. You know, it's so interesting because I took a look back at some of the stuff that I had made years ago when I had a blog, and I'm like, that was cute, that was cute, that was cute. Sometimes you just got to remember who you are, right? You know what I'm talking about? Sometimes you just got to remember who God created you to be, what you're capable of doing, and, you know, don't let all the noise get in the way of that. So while all of the issues were real, you know, the fabric was too thick, you know, the curves, it was hard to sew around the curves. I didn't have enough fabric to fold. While all of that was true, it doesn't make the project a failure. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just makes it, first of all, a learning process, right? It makes it informative, right? Because now I have some information I can carry into another project that could be similar, where this could come up again. Even if I have to add extra fabric to the seam allowance, I'll just do that, right? To make it work. So does it mean I'm a failure? No. Does it mean the project is a failure? No. It just means you can't expect flawless from a human being who has flaws. You can't expect something that is perfect coming from someone that is not perfect. So initially, when I said I was going to make this again, it was for all the wrong reasons. But now I want a summer version. Like, this one is too hot. You know, I am going to make another one, but it's for all the right reasons this time. So I can just imagine, right? I can almost feel me going into it. It's going to be a great process, right? And I'm going to share it with you when that happens. Don't let any false ideas or limiting beliefs cloud what's true and what matters. Thanks for stopping by today. Until next time, take care.